Good evening, everyone. It's a cold, wet, rainy October evening at Perth City. I've actually never been on this bridge in any of my videos to get the amazing view of the city at dusk. And here is a Transperth Ferry, which I rarely talk about in my videos, apart from the 100 subscriber special at the very end. Make sure to check that out. Look at that. Never actually seen it pass under me like this. It says Transperth Ferry on the top. Now if you didn't know, or just watch this ferry dock there while I just quickly explain. If you didn't know, Perth has buses, trains and ferries. The ferry system is just one route which currently operates from Elizabeth Quay, Elizabeth Quay to South Perth, which is just over there on that side, and you can see in the distance. Not really anything else, although it did used to operate to Mends Street Jetty, which is the South Perth Jetty. I'm gonna use my zoom even though it's trash. Is like in there, but then Mends Street Jetty is like over there, like over there. Yeah, it's very bad, but they're used to, I think that's what it was called. Oh yeah, the ferry docking. Here it does a sharp turn to get in. It used to go there, but that was a long time ago. And the other major change was you used to dock over there at Barrack Square, which is just that little hut there instead of Elizabeth Quay until this was built. So those are really only the two major changes of the ferry over the last more than a decade. There are plans to, well, not plans, but proposals to possibly extend the I nearly dropped my phone in the water, whoops. Possibly extend the ferry to Canning's Bridge near a hotel there, which would seem redundant because the train goes there, but it's really a much nicer way to travel, so I think people will use it. That's in the future. So Transperth has 3 ferries. Used to have some very old models, but then it got replaced in the 1990s with, I think it was this one, Shelley Tailor-Smith, which is just docked up over here. Then Phillip Pendal came next. I'll put the year on screen because I don't know from my head and I'm saying this on the spot. And then came Tricia, or Tricia, I don't know how you say it, which is currently on the other side of South Perth. That is the newest Transperth Ferry, and it came in only a few years ago. It's the only one to have a toilet on board, which means that's the only Transperth vehicle to have a toilet on board, which is cool. But they mostly look the same, although the seats inside are quite different than the 3 different ones. But most of them look like NH or gas bus seats. But I'll show you the differences. Yeah, so Elizabeth Quay. This is the bridge. Let's take a closer look at the docking point. We have 5 minutes till the ferry leaves. Now, I was planning to make a ferry video after I filmed and posted all 14 bus stations, but today, Friday the 21st of October, I heard the news on the Transperth website that the Mends Street ferry dock, which is on the other side, that's what it's called, is going to be fully renovated over the next 6 weeks to be more like the Elizabeth Quay one, much more modern. The floating jetty, closing gates, all that stuff, because right now it looks really bad, which you'll see when we get there, very old. So that means on Monday, ferries will no longer terminate at their usual spot at South Perth on the Mends Street Jetty, and I mean they'll still go on Mends Street, but at some other poor point of the jetty, I don't know exactly where. Here's Shelley Tailor-Smith with a lot of seagulls on top. And funny thing is, it says Elizabeth Quay, South Perth, Perth Zoo. Like for tourists, this is how you get to the zoo, even though it's really just 2 stops and you have to walk 8 minutes to the zoo, but oh well. So that's that. And yeah, so since it's going to be renovated, I decided obviously I have to film the old jetty and the old docking spot before it all changes. So this is actually the last weekday that it's going to be like that, so I'm here to film it. We're going to go and fill a Pendal over here. We're just going to take a look. This is the Elizabeth Quay jetty, built a few years ago, I don't know exactly when. So the ferries park over here, as you can see. There's one there, and they can park all three along here, or dock, however you call it. And yeah, so this is a much more modern jetty that was built. The old one was at Barrack Square, much worse. Now this one actually has a full-on information point and like kiosk and automatic gates and lots of cool stuff. So we're going to take a look quickly over here. Here we are, so you can see the sign, Mends Street Jetty redevelopment. Passengers with mobility scooters will not be able to board or disembark at Mends Street. Yeah, so they're actually recommending disabled and people to take the bus, like 30 or 34, because it's going to be very bad, the boarding point, I think. So you have the ticket machines. I think it's just a standard 2-section fare to get there, and an information point, and this ferry office in there. And then the ferry times. Now the ferry is actually the only thing to change seasonally, the only Transperth service. From June to September it runs on a half-hourly timetable, but at all other times it's 15 minutes, although I've seen that they don't exactly follow that. And on Fridays it actually has some extra services for party goers. Then here's the map. It just shows how it goes across. Then you can walk to Perth Zoo, and shows all the cat routes as well, and all the cat information. And then here's the ferry. You can see everything coming out the back. So this is the entry ramp, and that's the exit ramp. You can come down, and there's like a gate there which opens once the ferry's ready, so I'm gonna have to tag on once I get on. So there it is. So this is how they're gonna upgrade the Mends Street Jetty to be just like this, a floating area. You can see how that's like a floating jetty with ramps down, exactly like this. So I'll definitely film it once it's finished, but this is now the last ever weekday. It'll still run on the weekend, but the last ever weekday going to the old jetty spot. Now over there on that screen they show Transperth ads such as airport line opening, and also if you're on Tricia it has a safety video, like for when you go on a big ship or something, or a big boat somewhere. It has a safety video for this mini ferry, and also it plays on that screen. But the trip only takes 8 minutes to Mends Street, so it's not really much. So we're gonna get on this ferry and film the trip across. Down to the floor pretty much. But the ferry actually lights up in cool colors underneath when it's nighttime. I'll show you that later when we get to Mends Street. So let's just go on. These are the automatic gates here. They actually put a new sticker on. Eating, drinking, smoking and vaping is prohibited on this vessel because of the new teenager trend to vape. So they put new stickers up. This ferry is actually late. It's already 6:31. It's meant to depart every 15 minutes, but it's still boarding here. The one on the other side's probably already left. Now, the lighting is really bad at night on the ferry for my phone, but we're gonna try to do the best we can with what we have. Now listen to the motor noise as the ferry departs. So I'll just show you a few quick things. Out the back there's some nice windows where you can see the city. There's stickers all along the edge of the ferry saying things like no eating, cameras in use, where the lifebuoys are. and you can see it's arranged in actually rows of 4 seats, which is pretty cool. All the way down there's some backwards facing seats, and you can actually sit at the front and get a good view. I might do that on the way back, although I already did that in the 100 subscriber special, so it's pretty much going to be the same. Oh, I hear that motor. There's some nice lights up on the roof of the ferry. And the seats, you can see these ones on, what's this one? Phillip Pendal. They don't exactly look like bus seats because it's like a little gap underneath. But the ones on that one, Shelley, Tailor-Smith, I think, unless they've changed it, they do look a lot more like Transperth bus seats. Same livery or maquette as the bus seats though. And also, one of the coolest features, I know it's very blurry, sorry. One of the coolest features of the Transperth Ferry is the window. We go under the bridge where we were before. The windows, yes. You can open windows on the Transperth Ferry. Just a little bit, but it's enough. So you can stick your phone out, even though I'm not meant to, but here we are. And view the river out there. View Kings Park in South Perth. So it's very cool to be traveling on water. Train on the bridge. Major line service. Yes, it's very unique like this. There's also the Rottnest ferry, which you can just see over there, which goes through here as well, but that's much more expensive. It goes down to Rottnest past along with the river. Also, many years ago, I forgot exactly when, but I do know there was once a big Fremantle line shutdown. I don't know exactly what it was, but there was some shutdown. I think it was for the Perth City Link project to build the new tunnel at Perth. So they shut the whole Fremantle line and they provided replacement ferry services, which was just amazing. Replacement ferry from Perth to Fremantle, just along the river. That was so cool. Not replacement bus, replacement ferry. That was very cool. I wish that would happen again, but it's not going to. Now there we have ferry Tricia passing us. We're gonna come over here to view it, so you can see the ferry actually glows colors underneath. Tricia or Tricia is right now green. There it is, with the toilet at the back and the stream flowing out. I'm not sure if the colors change or what. Anyway, you can hear the motor noises on the ferry. Pretty spectacular. I know it's very blurry. I should film this a day, but I was filming other stuff before this, like airport line new bus routes. I'll put those videos in the corner. But it's cool to see it at night as well. And look at this great view of the city you get out the back, although the window's pretty foggy, but really great view. And if I point my camera back, you'll be able to see as well. See? Oh, that's so nice. And the stream of the engine flowing out the back looks beautiful. Hear the motor noise? Anyway, so 8-minute journey across the river. Sorry, I know it's glitching out. Actually, you could turn on the light. Yeah. This gives you a better view of the seats. Just like that. Yeah. And like on the ferry, you can actually sit in front of the captain or driver, which is pretty strange. He has to stand to see above you, but that's what you can do. Actually, they haven't updated the signs inside the ferry. It doesn't say vaping, but on the outside it does. There's also, of course, life jackets and all the usual boat safety stuff on the ferry. And as I said, there's a safety video on Tricia. Life jackets. Although that's probably never been used in the history of the ferry. It would be cool to still have it running to the other jetty in South Perth like it used to. Sadly, it won't. Or at least extend to Canning Bridge like they're saying. Imagine if Perth had a full ferry system, but then it would make buses obsolete. It wouldn't be very handy, and a lot of the bridges would have to be raised, so. And new fleet acquired, of course. Do you think these ferries are built somewhere up north in WA, and then they bring them down along the ocean or something to Perth? I'm not sure, but I think I saw something like that. anyone can tell me in the comments exactly how it goes. So then over there, the Narrows Bridge you can see right at the base is where the old mill is, and Route 35, which which video was that? I actually can't remember. Oh yeah. The Narrows Bridge walk video that I did at the end of school term 2 when I walked across Narrows Bridge. That one was a pretty cool video, less transport related than other ones, but still very cool. I'll also link that in the corner. Now, yeah, you can see the foreshore walk. It's about 1 kilometer from the edge of Narrows Bridge to South Perth, and we're just about to arrive now. South Perth actually had some upgrade works already done to it to make it look more attracting when you arrive, although the jetty still hasn't been improved. And now it will be, so it'll be very nice to see what it looks like after the improvements. So now we're almost across the whole river. I'm gonna stick my phone out just a little bit again. You can see the city, what it looks like all the way from the back here. And marine rules actually state that on ferries you have to, like on any water bodies, you have to actually pass vehicles on the right, not the left. That's like international law. So the ferries pass each other on the right. When they arrive here, they just do like a big U to park because they park parallel to the shore, but when they get to Elizabeth Quay, they have to do a big circle because they park facing South Perth, or dock, or moor, however you want to call it, as you saw. See, now these are the engine noises or motor noises when it parks up and turns. Very spectacular. It vibrates the whole ferry. Now this is already the end. It's a very short trip, but an exciting one for sure, especially for tourists. And then you can walk up to Perth Zoo. So this is one of my favorite spots to go privately after I do filming. I a lot of time go on the ferry, and here when it's just about to be dark, you can sit and eat some food and admire the view. It's very nice from here, and there's a good ice cream place up the road as well. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here we are. I have no idea which alternative parking spot the ferry is going to use while this is redeveloped. Maybe just here on the side. I don't know. But we'll take a closer look at the jetty now and at the South Perth Street, and then I'll go back. So actually I might wait for Tricia to come and I'll film that. I know the video is very long again, so let's get off. Here we are. The ferry master's a bit chatting with everyone. Where are you going today? I'm like, oh, I don't know, taking some photos. Yeah. This ferry is also glowing green, but I've seen them glow other colors, such as purple, blue. I think they can glow all sorts of colors. So here's the timetable on this side. Obviously the same thing. Now when there's like weather conditions, tides, currents, the ferries can be slowed down or be much higher than usual. Now this is the Mends Street Jetty. You can see it's a much less developed thing. All you have is a ticket machine, which is out of service, a change machine if you need to change. Both ticket machines are out of service. That's about it. Screen display up here. A little waiting area. I've never actually waited here though. There always seems to be a ferry waiting. And then this very bad yellow ramp which just goes down, very shaky and not level with the ferry, which is why they are now redeveloping it. Also a sign, no larger than 750 by 1,300 millimeters permitted on the ferry. And you can see redevelopment from 24th October. So, this jetty is very random, and I don't know if it'll dock here or something while they redevelop it. There's also some vintage ship here. Not sure exactly what this one is. And then there is a restaurant here right on the edge on the jetty, which is cool. Never been in there though. Let's walk off the jetty. This artwork, which was recently installed here a few years ago, maybe. This, what's it called? Frilled neck lizard. And you can walk out. They can close the gates here. Little cafe part of the restaurant too. And here's straight in South Perth. There's a little playground here, but not much else apart from the restaurants, of course. And the great view. Look at this. You can actually see how pretty widespread the city is, all the way to the east along St. George's and Adelaide Terraces. It's almost dark, but you can still see. I'm gonna walk down to that viewing point. There we go. The ferry's already leaving because it came a bit late. Usually it waits about 7 minutes or so, but it came late, so it's just reversing out. Damn, I should have got a better shot of it leaving. Oh well. You can see the great city view, which I also filmed in the Narrows Bridge video. Sorry, my camera is so bad at night. There we go. And that's pretty much it. Some party bus over there. Is that a 0305 bus? And I'm not sure about the super old buses. Yes. I'll give you guys a closer look so all you enthusiasts can tell me which bus it is. I do believe it's something with a 3 and a 5, but I'm not exactly sure. Very old Mercedes-Benz bus. Here it is. Party bus. You can see a good view there. Don't think you need much more than that, guys. Oh, there's a ferry leaving. Beautiful shot with the green underneath. Departing for Perth City, Elizabeth Quay. That's the whole concept of the ferry, really. Now we'll just film the South Perth Street quickly, and then we'll wait for Tricia to come in and watch it arrive on the old jetty for one of the last times. Here it is, the frilled neck lizard structure, and yeah, lit up underneath. And this is a rather pedestrian friendly area actually. Lots of bollards so cars don't go anywhere, and yep, you can go across. Also, you got the RAC Intelli bus, which drives along this road. The only driverless vehicle in Perth at the moment. And they might film that one day too, on school holidays. Then as soon as you come across from the ferry jetty there, you can walk up Mends Street. You can walk up Mends Street here. Lots of cafes and restaurants along here. There used to be a dome, which is also good, and Health Freak Cafe, I believe, but both of those were removed. That's sad. I used to come to the dome a lot. Sorry, I know it's so dark. It's very, very dark, but maybe here where it's lit up. This is the good ice cream place I was talking about. Definitely come here. Take the ferry and eat some ice cream in the evening. In summer, of course. Very nice. Right in there. They have other things, not just ice cream, but here's the whole... No, never mind. Yep. Here we go. This video is almost half an hour, that's insane. Oh well, I guess one big video to cover the ferry and its surroundings is good. Just pretend it's like 2 station videos, but for each of the 2 jetties. Oh yeah, and one thing I didn't film. The walk from Elizabeth Quay bus station or train station to the jetty is currently rather bad, I must say, because you have to cross at the traffic light, although hardly anyone does it, and then they just rush across the road. Like, it's not a very good place to be filming. If I find any footage in the past of when I went past there, I'll show you. This is how you walk from the ferry to Elizabeth Quay. You can see the ferry is just behind here with that green glowing thing behind there. There's a Transperth logo. It's pretty easy to walk over here, just along the water park, but then here, this is what you're faced with. It's so annoying because most people walk across this mulch, which is like an absolutely, I'm not gonna say the word, bad place to walk. And then like this crossing is so bad because there's constantly cars coming down here, going on the freeway. And then there's the tiny median, and then you have to cross another lane and a bus lane to get over there. But there is the traffic light where you're meant to go, although see so many people trying to cross here instead of going to the traffic light, so that's why it's not a very good transfer point. There should be like some underpass under here, but oh well, it's just outside Elizabeth Quay train station, which was actually the topic of the 100 subscriber special video, which I also filmed the ferry trip on. That was the Elizabeth Quay station video. Yeah. Not filming. Did I say filming? Not a very good place to be transferring services. So it's better to just take the blue cat to Barrack Square and walk across the bridge. Sorry. Super noisy music. And they're building some new stuff here too. And there's a BP. And now this is Mill Point Road. So this is where you can catch the bus services, which the mobility impaired people will have to do once ferry jetty starts being redeveloped. Also, this is the South Perth Ferry tram here, which was some service that used to operate in the distant past. I made a video about this, a separate video, just like 3 minutes looking at it, so I'll link you to that in the corner as well if you want to see. Now it's starting to rain, just like it did when I filmed this ferry. It's battered down and I hid in there. I mean tram. Yep. Now here's a 34 bus stop, which takes you straight over to Elizabeth Quay or Perth bus road if you want. There's also 30 and 31 bus stops around the corner, and the zoo is just across this road here. I'll turn the light. Just down there. The zoo is not very far from here. Anyway, I'm gonna run back to the jetty now and see if I can get a clip of Tricia coming in. Here comes ferry's docking right now. Didn't get a good shot of it coming, sorry, but here it is arriving. Ferry master actually opens the door to dock properly. Sorry, I ran. Don't know why I walked all the way up there. I wanted to get a good shot. Oh well. All ferry's glowing green today, I guess. Now this is where you sit. Sorry. This is where you sit when you come to eat here. This lovely bench. And then you get a view of the whole city and the ferry, which just docked in over there. Beautiful view. Well, that's the end of the video, I guess. Just gonna do a quick interior shot of Tricia so you see what it looks like, and then we'll end it. Here's the Mends Street Jetty for one of the last times too, before redevelopment. Here's some signs. I know this video wasn't very good because filming at night, not great, but I guess it's good for some variety. Here's the jetty. Wonder what it's going to look like after the redevelopment. Let's get on board. This is the newest Transperth Ferry, only a few years old compared to the other ones, which are like 20 or so years old. Oh yeah, here's a safety video. Sure. Safe and pleasant ferry ride, huh? Let's get on, I'll show you this bad ramp. Very noisy, as you can see. So this one is designed a bit differently, as you can see. You can see the seats look exactly like gas bus seats, no difference. And there's actually 5 in a row on one side and 4 in a row on the other side. And there's a toilet at the back, although most of the time it's closed off, so I don't know what the point is. But yeah, there's also the fold-up seats here. And the lighting in this one is much more visible and white than in the other ones. Seats are less comfortable though. I've rarely been on this one because even though they have this new one, they still use the old ones a lot. And the life jackets are in there. But yeah, this one looks very nice. Now, of course, you can sit at the front and view the journey, but I already did that in the 100 subscriber special, which I advise you to click on in the description, and you don't have to watch the whole thing, it's like an hour long, although I did edit the subtitles for the entire video, which took me like 5 hours on a Saturday. But anyway, you can just skip to the end. I think I chaptered it, and you can see the ferry trip across. I'm not going to refilm what I've already done, so you can go watch that. There's also some stupid crude humor of me putting a fire effect in to burn the city down. Yeah, that doesn't matter. This is the new ferry stopping spot with the Mends Street renovations. This is filmed a week later. We just watched the ferry arriving. Now we got Shelley Tailor-Smith, which means we'll be able to see all 3 ferries. As you can see, it's closed off here. Let's get on board. And you can see the seat design on this ferry. Again, different to the other ones. They all have different seats. This one has pretty much rectangles with handles and some big windows out the back. So this is like a very old NH style seat. And you can see the ferry there. There actually isn't like any difference with the boarding gap. I don't know why it says it's going to be inaccessible. I guess maybe when there's a tide it might be, but at the moment it's totally fine even when it's here. And as we approach on this very empty ferry tonight, Perth City, there's one more thing I want to point out. someone's food container here. Yeah, that's very gross. But look, it's like a massive gap here, as you can see, between the seat and the wall. Yeah, it's like unique to this ferry. The other two don't have the gap, so that makes it very annoying to sit here because you can't properly lean on the window. That's it.